The darkened highway stretched endlessly before him, the hum of the engine barely audible over the silence of the night. Nathan's hands gripped the steering wheel, his eyes fixed on the illuminated path ahead. The road was empty, just the occasional flicker of a distant streetlight breaking the darkness. He adjusted the rearview mirror, but there was nothing behind him, only the empty stretch of road fading into the void. The weight of the night pressed against him, and the hum of his car was the only company he had. Boredom crept in, and in a moment of distraction, he reached for the radio. The static crackled as he twisted the dial, searching for anything to break the silence. Station after station offered nothing but static, a low hiss that seemed to seep into the air around him. But then, at precisely 103.7 FM, the static cleared. A faint hum lingered, and then a voice emerged. It was calm, steady, and eerily smooth. "If you're hearing this, you've been chosen." The words struck him like a cold gust of wind. Nathan furrowed his brow, his fingers tightening on the dial. He waited, expecting a follow-up, maybe a recording or a distorted ad. But there was nothing. Just the voice, and then silence. A wave of unease washed over him. He twisted the knob, trying to change the station. The static returned, but as he passed other frequencies, a strange sense of wrongness gnawed at him. Curiosity, tinged with dread, made him turn back. The voice returned, clearer this time. "Do not turn it off." Nathan's stomach twisted. The words had come through the speakers like a direct command. He glanced around, but there was no one. The road remained empty. His pulse quickened, a soft tremor settling in his hands. Rationality told him it was a prank, a pre-recorded message designed to startle late-night drivers. Yet the way it spoke felt different. It wasn't playful. It wasn't exaggerated. It was deliberate. He tried to turn the radio off, but the knob wouldn't respond. The buttons refused to work. Panic set in, but the voice spoke again. "Keep driving. You're almost there." Nathan's breathing quickened. The words sent an unsettling chill down his spine. Almost. Where? He squinted through the windshield, but the road ahead was as empty as before. The only lights were his own, illuminating the cracked pavement. Still, the voice persisted, low and insistent. "You know this place. You've always known it." The words echoed in his mind, stirring something he couldn't explain. The air grew thick, and with every passing mile, the familiar landmarks began to shift. The road signs blurred, the mile markers seemed out of order. He passed the same rusted gas station twice, even though he hadn't turned. His knuckles widened as he clutched the steering wheel, the creeping dread threatening to consume him.
A strange mist slithered across the asphalt, swirling under the headlights. The fog was dense, and naturally so, as though it had been waiting for him. The radio crackled, but now it wasn't just a voice. Faint whispers layered beneath it, voices murmuring words he couldn't quite grasp. They twisted and faded, only to return in a constant, unsettling hum. Then the voice spoke once more. "You've been here before." Nathan shook his head, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. He hadn't. He was certain of it. But the longer he drove, the more the words clawed at him. Shadows of memories flickered at the edge of his mind. Glimpses of headlights, the hum of an engine, the endless road. The fog thickened, and just as he reached for his phone, he noticed something in the distance. A dim glow, faint and pale, hovered like a beacon. It was a radio tower. The jagged structure loomed against the night sky, its red lights pulsing rhythmically. The voice on the radio grew louder. "You're almost there. Don't stop now." Nathan's eyes darted to the clock. The numbers flashed 3:07 a.m., the same as the frequency. He slammed on the brakes. The tires screeched, the car skidding slightly before coming to a halt. The tower remained, distant yet ominously present. But the road ahead was no longer the same. The pavement warped, the painted lines distorted as though the road itself was unraveling. The voice hissed through the speakers, its tone growing darker. "It's time to remember." His chest tightened as the whispers intensified. He twisted the keys to shut off the car, but the engine refused to die. The headlights flickered, illuminating something ahead. Another car. It was identical to his. Same make, same model. Even the same scratches on the bumper. But the most horrifying detail was the driver. Through the fog glass, Nathan saw himself. His own reflection stared back, wide-eyed and terrified. The radio buzzed violently, the voice now distorted and layered with dozens of whispers. "You cannot run from yourself." Nathan's mind screamed for him to move, but his body remained frozen. The reflection blinked, not in sync with him. It twisted its head, smiling with an unsettling calm. And then, without warning, the other car surged forward. The blinding headlights rushed toward him. He clenched his teeth, bracing for impact. The moment they collided, everything went black. When his eyes opened, the world was silent. He was back on the same empty highway, the distant tower gone. The radio was off. His car sat idle, as though nothing had happened. Gasping for breath, he reached for his phone. The screen flashed. 3:07 a.m. Trembling, he turned the key, and the engine roared to life. The only sound was the hum of the road beneath his tires. Relief threatened to consume him, but then the radio crackled. A final, chilling whisper slipped through. "We'll see you again soon."
Nathan sped down the empty road, but the words lingered. No matter how far he drove, he knew the voice would always find him.